guys, we are here from San Diego Comic-Con at CBR.com, and I am here with Geoff Johns, who really needs no introduction. We're going to talk about all things Stargirl, Titans, anything that's on your massive docket of projects.
Okay.
So let's start off with, we got a Titans trailer.
Yes.
This Comic-Con, and it's a bit of a controversial Titans trailer.
It is controversial.
Yeah.
I think as expected, though. I don't think, and it was like, what? Wait, what? Like it's controversial. But as I've been telling people, I'm like, not to take the trailer as like this is the whole show.
Right.
But I'm glad there's discussion, and there should be discussion about that and why we would go that direction and why Robin would ever get to that point. And a big part of the series is exploring. I'm doing with Akiva Goldsman and Greg Berlanti and Greg Walker, and a big part of the series that we're exploring is the moment that Robin left Batman in the Titans. He was kind of a lost character. He was looking for what his next thing was, and the Titans individually are all lost, and they form a family, the surrogate family, and that's we're staying true to Marv and George's take on the Titans in that sense. But you're going to see where Robin, like what Robin's gone through and why he's gotten to that point, and and I'm excited for people to see it. I don't think they really quite know what the show is going to be, and it's going to be fun to watch.
Awesome. And at your panel yesterday, you teased Jason Todd and Donna Troy as people who are going to be eventually coming in.
Yes.
Can you tease any more information about
characters?
What are who should we expect to see? What version of Donna are we going to see?
Well, Donna Troy, Wonder Girl, you're going to see her. That's been rumored out there, I think, for a while, like that on CBR. So I see the thing that's everyone looks at the character breakdowns and really, but Hawk and Dove, who are in episode 2, and they're fantastic.
Sure.
They're really, 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 really strong. And trying to I don't think who else I can. The thing is with Titans is the whole universe of Titans is open to us, so we'll be exploring every facet of that as we go through the series.
Okay.
But the first season, I've spoiled enough characters for the first season.
All right, that's fair. And now there's been some question because obviously we know that Titans and Doom Patrol are related. They're in the same universe. They're spinning out of each other. Where does the newly announced Stargirl fit into that kind of tapestry? Is she isolated on her own? Is she part of that shared space?
I mean, right now we're just focused on, for me, Stargirl is its own show with the Justice Society. That doesn't mean we wouldn't eventually do something, but the goal is just to make a great Stargirl show right now, and if it happens to interconnect in the future with other things, great. Okay. But right now it's Stargirl is and I love that it's such a different tone than Titans or Doom Patrol that we're working on, because the service, I think, DC Universe, the channel, it's bigger than a channel, I guess, because it has comics and everything else. But it should have different types of shows, just like on Netflix. I love watching, I love Ozark and I love Glow.
Right.
And they're very different shows, and I think it's important to have a diversity of tones instead of everything fitting the same tone. And so I wanted to do Stargirl for a variety of reasons, but part of it was to do something that was a lot of fun. Yeah. And young, really young.
Is Stargirl going to be kind of more aimed at the young adult audience, or is this going to be kind of like an all ages situation?
It's PG. It'll be PG-13, but it really is for everybody.
Perfect.
It's for adult fans like us, and it's for kids. It's I think everybody will be able to watch Stargirl, which is part of the appeal to it, because you have generations of heroes.
Now, I mean, obviously the JSA is going to be a component of Stargirl.
It will be, yes.
Incredibly excited. We've very recently in Legends of Tomorrow got the JSA, in that universe. Has there been, kind of working between the two teams for Legends and for Stargirl, or is there concern about stepping on toes, or is this going to be...
No, this will be a totally, much like, Arrow reimagined Green Arrow from Smallville. I'm taking a brand new direction on Justice Society. It'll be, I think, more closer to the lore, but I want to kind of do a brand new reimagining of it for Stargirl.
Yeah, when I think of Courtney in the context of any of the DCU, in the context of the JSA, I think of her as really kind of a bridge between generations. We have characters like Maxine and Jakeem, and then Jay and Alan. Is she going to function as that bridge in the show, or is it going to be kind of more like one generation over the other? Or
I don't want to spoil that because it's going to get into the story of it all.
Okay.
But but in a way, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, in a way.
Stripesy. robot?
Has to be Stripe. We can't do Stargirl without Stripe.
Perfect.
Yeah, he's in there.
Awesome. That was another big question that I saw a lot of people talking about. Like,
is Stripe there? Yeah, I mean, it's cool because I have to say, like, with Titans and with Doom Patrol, we really have Warner Brothers has given us the ability to build Robot Man, and you know, we're doing, you know, Elasti-Woman and Crazy Jane and Negative Man, and in Titans, you know, we're able to. I mean, there's great scenes with Dick Grayson in the Batcave. Like, we're able to really, I think, with the budgets and the time and the, you know, the creative is push this stuff to be closer to the lore and celebrate the lore, and I think that's going to be a lot of fun. So making Stripe it's hard, but look at Gorilla Grodd. You know?
Yeah.
They also, Greg Berlanti and I were talking the other day, and he was like, you know, when we started doing Flash, we put in the pilot, we put in the gorilla cage that was bent open, and we had the Grodd thing there, and was like, oh, Gorilla was affected by this explosion. And at the time, people were like, how are we ever going to do Gorilla Grodd?
I remember that exact moment.
Yeah, like, how are we going to do Gorilla Grodd? And we're like, well, we want to try. We want to try. And I think it's, like, Grodd is kind of this great, like, he was like the first thing, and then now you look at everything else happening. That, yeah, we can pull off Stripe.
So talking more a little bit about your print work now, because we just got a Shazam announcement, we got some details about 3 Jokers. I know that there's been, you know, the internet is buzzing about 3 Jokers and kind of how it's going to fit in. I know that Black Label is ostensibly out of continuity, but it's got kind of the Dark Knight Returns thing going on where it can be borrowed into continuity.
Kind of. I mean, for Jay and I, this is continuity.
Right.
Like, 3 Jokers is in continuity story.
Okay.
And it really focuses on Bruce and Barbara and Jason and the pain that the Jokers inflicted on these 3 individuals.
Okay.
And it's a mystery about 3 Jokers operating at the same time.
Awesome.
And what that means, and it's an exploration really about healing and pain and scars and healing right and healing wrong.
Okay.
Because I think there's a lot of different ways to heal.
For sure. Are those 3 stories going to be sort of, I know it's a 3-issue series, correct?
Yes.
Are those 3 stories going to be isolated? Like, are we going to
It's all one story.
Okay. So it's all 3 characters, I assume, interacting with one another. Awesome.
Yeah, 3 46-page issues.
46 pages.
Yes.
Wow.
Prestige format.
Awesome.
Much like the original Killing Joke.
Yeah.
We want to make it harken back to, like, this kind of new, you know, since the Killing Joke was published, there's been so much expansion to the Bat family and so many things that have happened since then.
Yeah.
And Jay and I really wanted to, if we're going to tell a Batman story and a Joker story, we were like, we got to tell the best, most emotional story that we possibly can. Something that's going to change, you know, their relationship with the Joker and how you see the Joker forever. Like, and it's based on an emotional journey.
Okay.
Not necessarily, like, it's not plot. It's really about character. But but our goal was to just, like, this is our Joker story. This is it.
Sure.
So we got to tell the best Joker story that we possibly can.
Now, you said it's in continuity. So can we expect to see kind of fallout from the story echo across the DCU, or is it going to be kind of like a more introspective?
I think, well, it's going to be introspective, but in a way that I think changes the characters emotionally.
Okay.
So I'll just say that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Darn. Okay.
But we're really, you know, Jay and I are focused on these 3 issues, this story.
Absolutely. And you also are working on Shazam now, which
is a very different tone.
Yeah, a totally different tone.
Much like Titans and Stargirl are different tones.
Yeah.
You know, I think like the one thing that I've tried to do in my career, I love working on different tones.
Right.
Like, you know, Shazam the movie is a very different tone than Titans, you know, and Shazam the comic is a very different tone than Doomsday Clock.
Right.
And Shazam is, I keep saying it's like if Roald Dahl created superheroes, like, you know, inspired by Phantom Tollbooth and Lion Witch in the Wardrobe and Wizard of Oz and Alice in Wonderland and Harry Potter, like doing a real fun, family-centered, emotional, magical, you know, character-driven story with these crazy characters that have no manual on what it is to be the champions of magic.
Are we going to see, you know, Billy and the Shazam family? I still default to calling them the Marvel family.
I know, it's hard,
Are we going to see them, you know, showing up in other books? Are they going to be joining teams? Like, Billy's kind of got his fingers in, you know, a lot of historical pies.
Yeah. I don't know if they'll be showing up in teams or other books. No one's talked to me about it, but that'd be great.
Do you have an ideal, like, if you had, you know, all the power in the world to do whatever you wanted with Shazam, who would you want him to be teamed up with, or what team would you want him to show up on?
Well, I default to Justice Society just because I feel like, we're taking really the Golden Age Fawcett comics as the basis of it. Like all these characters over the years, like Daredevil and Batman and the Incredible Hulk, like Peter David redefined the Incredible Hulk, and changed it forever. And Frank Miller redefined Daredevil and Batman, and Mark Waid redefined Flash. And I think Shazam hasn't yet really had that really, I think great reintroduction. And I think between hopefully the book and the movie will push this into the next level. But it's almost like Shazam skips over the grim and gritty phase of comic books, and so we're looking at if Fawcett just kept evolving, and there was this great cover, my favorite cover. I bought it, Captain Marvel Adventures, where Captain Marvel and Mary Marvel are flying with Santa Claus.
Okay.
It's an awesome cover, and I want to do comics where that can be a cover and it doesn't feel weird.
Yeah. No one's like, what?
Yeah, wait, Santa Claus is with Shazam family? Like a comic that is, but it's still grounded in reality. It's still rooted in emotional reality. The stakes are still real. It's not just a goofball comic. But I think there's got to be a magic and a whimsical nature to the stories and the characters for Shazam, for me. That's just my take, That's what that's how I see it.
Now, have you been working to like synergize kind of the tone of the story with the team that's working on the movie now?
Well, the movie that we produced is really, and Henry Gayden did a great job in the script. It's really takes a lot from what Gary Frank and I did on Shazam.
Right.
So we put it in the movie. Now the movie's feeding back into it's all kind of feeding each other.
Right.
But yeah, it all lives in the same tonal place, Now, and the kids that we introduced are in the movie too.
Oh, okay. So is the Shazam movie, can we consider that part of like the shared continuity of the DC universe?
Yes, it is, definitely.
Okay, so can we expect cameos in the Shazam film?
Well, they do talk about Freddie Freeman's like the biggest Superman fan in the world.
Oh, okay.
And he talks about Superman a lot. It's a lot of fun. Yeah.
Oh, that's exciting. Yeah. So is there anything you can I think Doomsday Clock is coming out next week.
Next
correct?
week, yeah, or the Mime and Marionette origin issue.
Okay.
Yeah, so talk about totally going completely away from Shazam.
So you have a lot of projects going on here. Is there anything you can tease like immediately coming up for Doomsday Clock beyond just the origin of Mime and Marionette? Is there something major that's happening?
Yeah, I mean, in this issue we really take a look at the villain reaction to the world, to the Superman theory, to all these, to the metahumans arms race. Like, where do the villains fit in?
Right.
Because if there's stuff that's over their heads, like these countries are now forming their own metahuman, arsenals. These weapons are collecting them like nuclear warheads, and when that stuff starts to happen, what are the villains going to do?
Right.
Like, what are they going to rob a bank? And so it's like they're all trying to figure out where their role is now in the world as it's evolving. And we get into Mime and Marionette and their perspective on everything. And there's some really intense stuff in the issue, emotional stuff. I really love these characters, and I hope people like the issue. I hope they enjoy it. But issue 7 then changes the story completely.
Okay.
And like the first six kind of go one way, and the next 6 go this other way. And I'm really excited for people to see the story. We just went to a 4th printing, which was cool.
Yeah.
On issue 1, which is great because Gary and I we want people to read the book. We're really making a book that's supposed to be read many times. I talked to one of my friends. He's like, "Oh, I like the new issue." I'm like, "Oh, what'd you think of the back matter?" He's like, "Oh, I didn't read it yet." I'm like, "Guys, read the back matter. I know it's a lot of text, but read it. I know it's a lot of text, but read it. Took me a long time to write."
Yeah. So as we kind of wrap up here, is there anything about any of your current projects that you've been doing interviews all day, you've been at Comic-Con for the first 2 days of the event?
Yeah.
Is there anything that you haven't got to talk about that you really want to talk about that you're just waiting for a chance to?
There is, but I can't talk about it.
Oh no.
No, I have to say it's really nice to just be focused on writing more and producing, and telling more stories, and having the time to do it. But it's so much fun to talk about all this stuff, and it's so different,
Right.
From the Aquaman movie to Doomsday Clock, they're just very different projects. So it's fun. I can get bored, and I like having a diversity of things to work on.
Awesome.
How about you? Anything you want to talk about?
Oh my gosh, no! I want all the spoilers that you can possibly give me, but I don't want to get you in trouble, and I don't want to get myself in trouble. So yeah.